Hello, friends! We often hear the phrase, opposites attract. In real life, we see people with completely different characters, drawn to each other, and become best friends. Well, this is true in the case of animals too. When you first hear the word cheetah, you think of strength, speed, and danger. And when you think of a dog, that reminds you of love, loyalty, and kindness. These two animals are polar opposites of each other. Can you imagine a cheetah and a dog coexisting in a zoo? In fact, imagine them as friends. In today's video, we are going to share a story of an adorable bond between a cheetah and a dog. I know it seems too good to be true. Make sure to keep watching as the story has just begun. Kumbali the cheetah cub was born at the Cheetah Breeding Center on May 12, 2015. Soon after his birth, the zoo staff realized that he looked weak. It turns out his mother was not producing enough milk, and he was losing weight for a couple of days in a row now. It made everyone anxious. The zoo staff made a quick decision and pulled him away from his mother, intending to boost his weight. In the meantime, Kumbali was bottle-fed and put into an incubator for a couple of days. Once his weight was back to normal, he was reintroduced to his family. However, his mother rejected him. Sad, right? Not only this, but they also found that she was still not producing enough milk. This made zoo workers reconsider their decision, since putting him back with his mother was too risky. After doing extensive research, it was decided to hand-raise him, since it was in his best interest. Kumbali looked really unhappy and alone. He was abandoned by his family. Cheetahs are naturally very social animals. Therefore, the zoo staff came up with an interesting idea of finding a friend for him. But it was not just finding a friend, but also a true companion. When we think of a friendly animal, the first name that comes to our minds is a dog, due to its kind and loving nature. Zoo workers also decided that to give him a confident and happy life, he should be introduced to a puppy of his own. After extensive research, they discovered that a Labrador would be the perfect friend for him because of their calm, happy, and loyal personality. Zoo management was hesitant to purchase a Labrador puppy. Instead, they chose a different path. It turns out they got him a puppy from a rescue shelter. He was named Kago. While talking to the media, Melissa Andelen, an animal caretaker at the zoo, said, "We tirelessly searched for Mr. Kago. We are not the first zoo to pioneer the idea of cheetah and puppy companionship, and so a couple of facilities have previous experience and well-documented research with this concept. If we were to do this companionship, we need to find the right dog. We wanted to give another animal a great shot at life, so we called different organizations, rescues, and shelters. You name it, we called it. Some flat out were not interested in helping because they didn't understand the purpose or lacked the understanding of what this companionship would provide for both dog and the cheetah. Some of them were more than willing to help but didn't have the right fit for us. The dog, who was a mix of Labrador and Pit Bull, was a perfect choice. Everyone fell in love with him instantly. The rescue organization was also very supportive of the efforts made by the zoo management. Kago was rescued from a high-kill shelter in Alabama. Talking of the rescue organization, Andelen said, "It was a perfect fit. She sent us a video of him, and we talked about his personality, and it just felt right. The rescue organization was so kind to us, and even donated him." The dog was quarantined first, and then went through a checkup to make sure he was healthy, had a good bath, and then met his lonely cheetah friend at Andelen's house. Kago and Kumbali were very nervous during their first meetup. As they started to feel each other out, they quickly became friends, and are now growing up together, happy and healthy. Describing their first meetup, Andelen said, "Kago just happily ran right up to Kumbali right away. Kumbali just kind of looked at him like, excuse me? What is this doing in here?" and initially frowned at him because Kago invaded his private bubble. but after about 10 minutes, they quickly became pals. Since then, both of them are together 24/7, except for mealtime. The zoo workers describe Kago as a naughty puppy, since he eats his friend's meal, so it's necessary to separate them. But still, during this time, the zoo staff make sure they can see each other, because once, the zoo workers heard Kumbali crying. It turns out, Kago was running loose, since he was not tied up properly by the workers. Out of sight of his best friend, Kumbali was crying and nervously searching for his brother. Adorable, right? They sleep together, play together, and run and chase each other. Even though the cheetah is the fastest animal in the world, he takes care of his dog friend and slows down during their run to keep up with his companion and still have some fun. They even had their first birthday celebration at the zoo, where they spent their time unwrapping boxes of frozen meat. For Kumbali, this friendship gives him a chance to have a unique bond, similar to how male cheetahs live with their brothers or other male cheetahs in the wild. It also gives him the confidence and stability he needs to flourish as an ambassador animal representing his species in the wild, and a sense of belonging and calmness. Kago loves people and trusts them instantly. However, Kumbali is reserved and takes his time to open. The zoo caretaker said, "For people, Kago comes right up to them and loves to have his back rubbed and scratched. He also enjoys grooming people. His tongue is really rough like sandpaper, but we let him lick the backside of our hands." Kago is the dominant of the two. He leads his little pack and loves to chase everything. He is very curious about new things. Kumbali is more reserved. He follows Kago's lead for the most part, although sometimes he explores things on his own, but only for a limited time. He's very observant, constantly watching and observing his surroundings. They both benefit from their relationship because they both have companionship now. Plus, dogs are usually very confident, while cheetahs tend to be pretty fearful, so Kago has a calming effect on the once very anxious Kumbali. Thanks to his BFF, Kumbali is a strong, confident cheetah, ready to take on the world. We often find the zoos being criticized for locking up animals for human amusement. But what we don't realize is that many animals are unable to live on their own in the wild, and human intervention is necessary to keep them alive. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this real-life story. Please do share your thoughts on this adorable bond in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a good story again. See you next time!